Virgo, welcome to Lily Light Tarot. Let's take a look at what is coming towards you, changes you may experience, or people you may encounter, but most importantly, the purpose of this situation you're currently dealing with and what you need to know at this time. So I'm going to pull different energies as you're all different personality types with different life purpose, visions, and goals. So opening up here, we are seeing Seven of Cups unfolding. Let's get some clarifiers and the supporting energy. Wow, wow, wow. Virgo. Ooh, okay. So it looks like you are going to have many opportunities to choose from. So let's break this down. I love the Ace of Pentacles because this card is so grand for you, Virgo. We see this kind of like, wow, almost it's kind of like out of the blue. You didn't expect it. You didn't expect this to be so big. So the Seven of Cups is showing that you are going to have options coming across, options on the table, maybe opportunities coming across your path. And these opportunities could be, maybe someone wanting to work with you, or we see you getting phone calls or messages from potential employers or just business partners. But this also, the Seven of Cups kind of taps into, Virgo, like your interests. So you may want to pursue different projects or different business tactics, but the cards, ooh, look at that, the Magician coming through. But the cards are saying that what is going to be best for you is to really pick the one cup that speaks to your true interests and your true needs. The one or two cups, I should say. Because look at the Magician. The Magician has this one cup, and the Ace has kind of like this one stem or this one flower. Now, here's the thing. Okay, Virgo, here's the thing. So you have all of these choices, right? But the energies are showing that if you pick the right cup, if you pick the right choice, and the right choice really taps into what is genuine to you. Okay, what is genuine to your interests, to your skills, to your passion? Because sometimes if you try to start something just out of greed or just selfishness or just maybe influenced by other people, it can be deceitful, because we see this snake kind of slithering out here. So you thought that was the right cup, but it could be draining and just be a waste of time. This cup, it could be dangerous, risky. It could be poisonous too, to your health. So you have to make sure that you are choosing the right the right cup. The right cup here for you. Now, what this is saying though, once you pick the right choice, the right passion or business or interest, right? The right job even, or even a relationship, we see that even though it's just the one that you started off with, look at this. The one, it actually blooms and blossoms into multiple different flowers and different energies. So this is all to say that it can branch off and take off in different ways, in different forms. So especially when we're looking at, relationships, it can bloom so big and beautiful. You stick to this one partner, but there's different facets to them, different experiences, different memories, right? You can branch off and have a family with them, move. There's so much. Same with your business. You pick this one hobby, it could turn into a business, a website, a YouTube channel, an online Etsy or eBay shop, something along the lines of that, or like an in-person experience. So it's great to know that you have choices, but make sure the cards are saying that stick true to your craft and what it is that you are great at, especially when this Magician is coming in. You know that you can manifest great opportunities, but for this beautiful new beginning, we really need to look at the resources that you know how to use. So the Magician, yes, he or she can produce anything that they want. However, where they specialize in is their 4 favorite tools. Okay, we're looking at the earth, air, fire, and water elements. So what are the best resources that you know that you can use? The sword, the pentacle, the wand, and the cup are the Magician's preferred resources. And with those, it's almost kind of like, cooking a dish, right? You may know how to cook in general, but you really know how to cook that delicious spaghetti or that meatloaf or that fried chicken, right? It's like, okay, you know how to cook, but you really, really know how to cook something really well when you have those right resources. It's like, okay, I got chicken in the fridge, I got some flour, I can cook up the best fried chicken, which I can, by the way. So yeah, if you have all your seasonings and you know what you need, then this is going to turn out delicious. This is going to turn out beautiful and full and abundant. And the Mother of Swords here is pretty much saying that, commit to this idea. Once the one is kind of locked in, protected, dedicated, stick to it. The Mother of Swords, she is very fierce, and she's very, what's the word? Kind of like, her mind is like determined. Her mind is made up. It's almost like a parent, right? It's like you ask a parent, like, can I go to a party? And they're like, no, right? Some parents, it's like, no is no. There's no wavering. There's no negotiations, right? And this is that Mother of Swords. It's like, once the decision is made to stick to this, there is no backing out. And that's kind of what these cards are saying here for you, Virgo. This is, kind of like a once in a lifetime opportunity. It could come out of the blue. You didn't expect this pentacle to grow and to branch off into multiple things, but you're almost like not mad at it. You're kind of like, wow, where can I take this? Where is this going to go? Now, as we move on to the other energy, the Nine of Wands with the Page of Swords, this is just confirmation here. Stick to your passions. Look at him leaning on his swords, leaning on your interests, your path. Lean on yourself, okay, Virgo? Lean on yourself. Keep going. That is what these cards are saying. Don't give up. And the supporting energy, when we see the Page of Swords, this is starting off young. The Page of Swords is young. It's not as experienced as a knight would be, or a king, especially when we look at battles and challenges. But hey, what really counts is that the page has the determination, the page has the energy, the strength, okay, and the courage. That is what is really key, Virgo, especially when you are going through this process. What is key is your grit, your grind, okay, your confidence. Keep going is what these cards are saying. Keep going, building up on this foundation, because it's going to get stronger and it's going to multiply. You already have some things already lined up. You already have the spark, the vision, okay? These lights are lit up for you. So the path, look at this. Did you even know he was on a path? This path, I know it's kind of faint because you can see the green grass, but there's this path right behind him. The path is lit. So it's up to you whether you want to continue making your way down that path, keeping up with this interest, this passion. Now, the Empress is just confirming that you need to nurture and support yourself, support these dreams, but also being open to the process. So if let's just say, if you want to be your own brand or your own business in some way, okay, that is your ultimate goal, right? Building your reputation, building yourself up, but also being flexible with the approach. Some of you may not feel comfortable building a website, or you may not be comfortable maybe hiring a marketing team, or you may not be comfortable, having a little shop at the farmer's market. But the cards are saying be open to different ideas, different suggestions, different ways. I mean, the world is totally different now. What worked 20 years ago may have worked back then. Even what worked 10 years ago may have worked back then. But now, in this time in this digital age, there's so many ways to reach different people. And online is a beautiful thing. So the Empress is just saying that you will be seen, you can be heard, but the beauty that you possess, you may want to consider a different or a flexible approach. How can you reach more people? How can they see this beautiful light, this beautiful art that you possess? Especially when we look at the work environment too. If you are trying to build yourself up in the business or in the career, how can you build yourself up? How can you be seen? In what ways can you be recognized for your efforts? What can be enhanced on your resume? What skills can you follow through with? Okay, even though you may be young or unexperienced in the position or the field, we see that you have the potential to grow into something much better, much stronger too, and leading the way in some field. Now, the Seven of Swords is coming up here because it's encouraging you, Virgo, that sometimes your interests, your passions, your dreams are, in some situations, better kept like under wraps. okay? Because you don't want to, there's certain people in your path that may try to discourage you, that may try to, I don't want to say hold you back, but they may speak out of their own fear and insecurities, telling you like, oh, it's a long path, it's tedious, it's hard, can you do it? Are you sure? Do you have the money? Do you have the resources? Do you have the time? Right? Like those Debbie Downers. But it's kind of like, okay, you can accept and listen to their concerns, especially if it comes from like a loving a loving space, if it's like a parent or a spouse or a friend. But deep down, it's kind of like, you know your strengths, you know the powers that you possess, you know your abilities, and you know what you're capable of. So you're not going to let that discourage you here, Virgo. Now, the Queen of Swords with the Eight of Cups. Yeah, you are going to be stepping away. The cards are saying that sometimes you are going to have to step away from something that is no longer fulfilling you, or something that has been kind of almost like draining you, draining your energy, draining your space, your abilities, kind of like a heavy weight. Now that weight has been removed, now that you're stepping up, you're able to upgrade, elevate, position yourself up higher. Look at the Queen of Swords. She's like an air element, right? So now that you are stepping away from this weight, from this baggage, possibly something that has been kind of draining you too. You're draining in terms of like emotional drainage and mental drainage. It's like you've put so much time and energy into this. It's time to move on. And once you've moved on and you moved up, you're like, wow, look, it's kind of like, look, you're like reaching up. Look how high the Queen is. You're like, oh, I didn't realize how fresh the air is. Once you kind of like made your way up these cups, you kind of stepped up and stepped away, kind of taking the high road, the high road approach here, Virgo. So I love the Queen of Swords because look, double Queen of Swords coming through. So you may be finding yourself in a road where you're leading the way. Okay, maybe your peers don't understand, or your colleagues don't understand, or your family, because this Queen, she's kind of like in this race alone, in this battle alone. Now that she's afraid, though, she can handle it. She can do it. Okay, look at the owl. The owl is determined and protective. So remember that protective energy. It's like you've made your mind up, and you're gonna come across that walking away may be best for you to complete your ideal dreams. Yeah, I like that. This experience, it's almost like you are recognizing that some things don't always come across your path, and you are curious to see where it's going to take you, because this butterfly, it's like a new opportunity is kind of landing in your hand, landing in your lap. And you're like, okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take charge. Let me get the supporting energy here for you, Virgo. But I'm really excited because, for some of you, you need to hear that giving up is not even an option. Oh, wow, look at this Ace of Cups. See, yeah. Walking away from something that you've had for some time, whether it be a long career almost, or like something you've really invested in. Okay, this is where we see the cards are encouraging you to step away. Now, it's not to say that you need to completely forget about it, because the roots have been planted and it has gained you experience to kind of put your feet, wet in the situation. So whether you're walking away from a relationship, you may have learned how to be a better partner. You have learned, different ways in this relationship, or with your business, or with this job, or even like this lifestyle. You're walking away from a certain way of living. It's like, okay, I've learned all that I need to learn, but it's no longer useful for me right now. So this is something you're definitely going to find yourself stepping away from the past. no longer dwelling on that, no longer being tempted to go back, and look, moving on to something better. The Ace of Cups is coming through. And didn't we talk about this one cup here for you, Virgo? Look at that. The one cup, and we see the one grand cup. So we are looking at new love, new opportunities, new happiness. Now this love, while it can tap into relationships, the love can also be your love for your job, your love for your business, your love for life. The Ace of Cups, the cup is a representation of, almost for you, Virgo, it's like your heart. Where is your heart right now? What is it that you find yourself kind of feeding on? Where do you lean yourself on a daily? Is it your passion project? Is it your school? Is it your opportunity in career growth? Or is it trying to be a spouse, the best partner? So we see that there is happiness coming in, and with the Queen of Swords, with this decision, it's like you are going to ultimately decide that your happiness is going to be key. Like you're putting yourself first here, Virgo, and that's what the cards are encouraging you to do. Learn through the process, but take care of yourself, and also dedicate and follow through, okay? Finish what you kind of made your decision on. Finish what this idea, this project that you've kind of manifested, because when you finish it through, when you go through with it, stick and dedicate and be loyal and stand by its side, okay? The Page of Swords, even though it's young, even though it's new, look at this. The Seven of Pentacles is coming in. It will bring in great rewards. So it requires time, just like your skills, the Page of Swords, just like this new opportunity. It requires energy, time. I mean, the Page of Swords is not going to grow overnight. It needs to develop the action. It needs to develop the experience, just like you as a gardener, right? You need to learn how to plant the seeds, water it, change the fertilizer, position it in the right sun. So when you're in the right environment, Virgo, which I see that you are moving towards, okay, you are moving towards a better environment. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to feel like you may mess up, but the cards are really encouraging you to kind of step away from that. And some of you may have felt restricted too. You may have been afraid in the past to really live out your dreams, or really to pursue something, pursue your passions, your creative pursuits. And now you're kind of like, you know what? I'm going to invest in this, because the Queen of Swords is right next to it. It's like, I'm going to invest and dedicate all of my energy into this. And ooh, look at this, Nine of Cups, more cup energy. Wow. And the Father of Swords. Yeah. Oh, this is beautiful. So Virgo, we see ultimately there is happiness on the other side. Okay. Look at all these cups you're coming in. Now these cups were not right for you, but with these Nine of Cups, we see that once you break through the negative self-talk or the anxiety, the nervousness, that feeling of being paralyzed, you step out and you step into a lot more abundance, a lot more happiness. There's so much happiness here for you, Virgo. I'm so excited, because the Father of Swords here, he's just confirming that you are on the right path. He supports the Queen, okay? He supports the Queen of Swords. So now with the Father of Swords, this could be you speaking into your truth. So some of you are, you may be in a leadership role coming up right now, and what you need to know is that this training, all these skills, okay, all this process could be leading you into a position where you need to speak to the masses, speak to other people, speak about your experience. You may be, writing that book, doing a video, talking at a conference, even doing like a Zoom call. But the Father of Swords is showing that this is possibly why you may be nervous, because you know that there is something that you can teach, something that needs to be said. But you know that this ultimately is what really, really makes you happy, Virgo. Okay. So I love this energy here for you, because, we're looking at the Ace of Pentacles, and we see the Ace of Cups coming through. So happiness, abundance, but most importantly, we see this as it's going to be an investment. The Seven of Pentacles, what is planted now, Virgo, is going to support you in the months and the years to come. So this is what is really, really beautiful, because I love that you are seeing that there is investments to be made, investments in yourself, in your path, in this passion, in this idea, and you are going to be sticking to it. So stick to it, support it, Okay, don't back down, and you will see it grow and support you and nourish you. So this was what you needed to know at this time. Virgo, stay tuned and subscribe for more videos. Make sure you like this video so that way it saves in your YouTube history. You can refer back to this. But until then, stay well and be blessed.